Welcome to the Huddle. In the second episode of our Christmas special, we sit down with Coach José Gonzalez Dantas, a Spanish coach who's currently working in Switzerland. With Coach José, we talk about the difference in working as a head coach or an assistant coach. Enjoy the Huddle.
Hi coaches, welcome in the second part of our Christmas game, our Christmas special for this year. In the second part, we go into discussion with a foreign coach. And the foreign coach is a coach from Spain, but he doesn't work in Spain anymore. He's right now working in Switzerland. So Coach José Gonzalez Dantas, welcome. Thank you for taking some time with us. How are you doing?
Firstly, thank you very much. I appreciate that you put in contact with me. And I have to say thank you for your dad also because he put in contact. So thank you very much for that.
No, you're welcome. Mike and I are always looking for foreign coaches. So I texted my father, and when I asked for some names, you were the first name that popped out of this message. So really appreciate it, Coach. So how is the weather in Switzerland? Is it snowing already?
Yes, right now it's snowing, and in the last 4 or 5 days it was snowing a lot, but it's the moment. So
yeah.
This is the reality, and we have to accept this.
There's nothing we can do about it. No, that's correct.
That's it.
Yeah, Coach, as I said in the introduction, you're a Spanish coach working in Switzerland right now. But yeah, you have been working in different countries the last few years. Maybe you can name some countries, but how is that as a professional coach to be working from home all the time? How is that?
It's hard. It's hard for me, at least. For me, it's hard because finally you spend a lot of time for sure away and alone. So it's difficult because you spend a lot of time alone. You are thinking a lot about basketball, and there are good moments. Okay, you are happy, everybody's happy, so nothing happened. But when there are bad moments, and finally in the season there are a lot of up and down, and this is normal. But what is bad moment is super hard because you are thinking a lot, and you don't disconnect. You put all the focus in the team, and sometimes you have to disconnect, but you don't have your family, you don't have your friends, and it's hard. But finally, this is our decision that we want to live like this. So we have to accept that this is there are good moments and bad moments. But for the moment, I prefer the good moment. And for me, it's most important the good moment. And also, I think that you can learn and improve by yourself in the bad moment, in the bad situation.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, it's your first year in Switzerland. You're the head coach at Troistorrents in the first division women's league. How is the season going right now?
Right now, we lost last week. The last week we lost against Nyon.
Yeah.
So it was a tough loss, but we know that I think that we have the same level. This is the game that sometimes you can win, you can lose. So we have to accept this. But right now I am happy with the player because they are trying to do the best and they are competing. For me, this is the most important, that they are trying to do the best. Finally, sometimes you can lose, you can win for some small details. But the most important that every day you can work and they are trying to do the best. So this is the most important for me. And finally, the game is for the player. This is the important day for the player.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you said you lost to Nyon, eh?
Yes.
But Nyon won against Fribourg.
Yes,
that was a great upset in Switzerland because Fribourg is always the number one. So.
Yes, because I think that Nyon, they are working well. They are playing super tough, super physical. And you have to be ready for that. And I think that we were ready. And finally, we lost by 4 points because we had some problem in the rebounds. and we didn't play well during some moments in the game, like a team. So for that, I think that finally they won. But they are super tough, and if you are not ready to play like this, they are gonna win. They are still winning. So Fribourg, they have to be ready for that, and right now they know.
Yeah.
Coach, an interesting thing. You said you weren't good in the rebounds the last game. For me, it was the same. What do you do the next day? Or the next week? Are you going to practice on the rebound? And how do you do it?
This is a good question. Firstly, I think that we have to say to the team, hey, we had a big problem in the rebound.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, maybe we were losing for that. So, and you have to say to the team that. And then I think that sometimes it's our mistake, because we are doing sometimes just 1-2 drill about the rebounds, but we don't ask during rest of the drills.
Yeah.
So, okay, we put the focus. Okay, we're gonna go right now the boss out, the rebound. Okay, everybody have the focus, but then we're doing other drill in 4-on-4, 3-on-3, and we don't pay attention in the boss out. And I think that this is our mistake,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if finally we ask every time, in every drill, boss out. And if they are not doing, okay, hey, you have to still defend. That's all, no problem. You don't boss out, one more offense for the other team. It's like this. And every time, finally, they are gonna, I think that the team is gonna be more solid.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something interesting. Maybe these coaches need to be more, you have some drills to do the rebound, but it needs to be in every drill that it's automatic that they rebound.
That's it.
Because it's not only the rebound, the focus. When in my team last week we also lost and we didn't have the rebounds, but then the other thing is all the 50-50 balls are also for the other teams. So that's, you have to say, okay, the rebound is really important, and we have to see it. We do it every time in every drill. That's
it. I don't know if you have assistant coach, but maybe the assistant coach, in every drill, your focus is boss out. If they don't contact, you can whistle, boom, one more offense. You didn't contact. That's all.
Okay. The only problem I see sometimes, it's with my team, is they don't go for the offensive rebounds. How do you do this? I try to do with extra points with the rebounds, and then they do it, but it's not always automatic. They don't do it automatically, the offensive rebounds. You have to say it every time again.
Yeah, you have to force them. I think because we have to put some rule on the team. And for me, for example, I prefer always the two bigs, they have to go to the offensive rebound. Always. And this is the rule. And maybe for you, I don't know, maybe it's the two bigs and one guard with baseline. I don't know, this is one rule. And like this, you can force them to do it. Because also you can work for your offensive rebound for the next game or for the season.
Yeah, something interesting to put more in the practice, and to focus on that part. It's going to be automatic. If you work with a team, after 2 years, they're going to do it automatically. And this is the most important thing, to do it in the beginning of the season. So you don't have to focus it in the game. You just have to say one word: boys, girls, rebound, offensive, defensive.
Yes, that's it. If you put some rules, I think that from the beginning, it's no, in the first day, it's working like this. Every day, the same rule. Finally, it's going to be automatic.
Yeah, this should be a mindset. It is correct. Coach, so now you're head coach in Switzerland, but the last couple of years you were assistant coach in different countries. You worked in Iceland, in Spain. You also worked in Hungary, Russia. I think it was Sopron and Kursk, EuroLeague teams.
Yes.
How did you experience that as a young coach? Because you work in different cultures as well, I assume. So how was that?
Oh, it's like you said, it's different culture, but finally, I think that you have to adapt a little bit to the culture, to the club and team.
Yeah.
Because maybe, for example, in Kurs or Sopron, okay, they have different culture, but finally the goal of the club is play in EuroLeague, go to quarterfinal, or they want to play the Final Four of EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they have one culture, but you are in other world, in other atmosphere, because they have this budget and they have this goal to get it. Mm-hmm. They are super professional. They are super pro. And for example, in Iceland, it's a little bit more similar than here in Switzerland, because they are no super pro. Mm-hmm. The domestic player, they are working and playing. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have 1, 2, 3 foreigners. They are pro, but the domestic player, they are no pro. So you have to adapt a little bit. And for me, the more difficult here when I was coming the last season here was to adapt for this culture here, because I was coming from Kurs, Sopron, that everybody is professional. You don't have to think about nothing else. You have 10, 12, 11 players. You are going to do the practice this day, in the morning, evening, no problem. But when I was here, I said, I have to do like a puzzle, you know?
Yeah.
Monday, okay, these 6 players plus 2 young players plus 1 guy. Tuesday, something like that, but with different young player, with other guy. So it's crazy a little bit, but the first 2-3 months last year for me was super tough to change the mentality. For me, it was too hard. But now, okay, I can control a little bit this situation.
How many professionals you have in the team?
3.
And you practice with these players every day, every morning, or?
We're doing 4 team practice in the evening, and then we're doing 3 morning practice with the 3 professional players, and sometimes with some domestic player.
Okay.
And for the professional, they are doing 7 practice.
And what do you give? It's then individual training, shooting, or other things?
We're doing workout in the lifting, and then workout on the core.
Okay.
It's individual. It's sometimes shooting, sometimes it's depend of the goal. They have different goal because we have one big, one center, 1 point guard, and 1 forward, and all-round player. So they have different goal, and we're working together for their goal.
Okay. And how do they feel it? Because every day with 3 or 3 days in a week with 3 players or 4 players, it's not a lot. Is it difficult for them?
No, because finally I think that when for the pro player, they like this kind of thing, because this is the moment that they can improve and they can listen to the coach. This detail, you can work just in the detail. Yes. And then in the team practice sometimes, okay, you don't have the time to work on that. So they like it. Last season and this season, they like to do this kind of thing. So I don't have any problem about that.
No, what you say is it's true. If they play a team with only 3-4 pros, you have more time to improve yourself as a player. Otherwise, you have always the team practices, and after the team practice, you have to do the individual training. So now they have more time to spend for themselves, and I think it's gonna improve them very much.
Yeah, that's it. And for example, when I was in EuroLeague teams, you don't have time to do this kind of thing. Just with the player that they are not playing, you can do this kind of thing. But with the important player, you can't do it because they are playing twice by week, and you don't have time to do it because they have to rest because they are playing a lot. So for here, I think that for this kind of player is a good moment because they can improve and they can invest time to improve.
Yeah, and coach Gunnar sometimes comes to Switzerland. So if you need one guy to get to practice for 10 people, please call him. He can help you.
Okay, perfect for me.
Point guards. He's a lefty. He can practice very hard. So
okay. So just let me know when he's here, and for me, no problem.
Next time I'll be there from 10 April until 18th of April.
Okay, so maybe I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, you can always call me, but please do not call me the night before I eat raclette. Eh? You know raclette?
Oh, okay, yes, I know.
Great. Getting back to the serious right now, Coach. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this experience in Switzerland is your first experience as a head coach.
Yes, this is the second season, but it's my first experience as head coach.
Yes, as head coach. So how was that for you? Because before you were an assistant coach several years, now you're a head coach. Did you experience any challenges for you or difficulties or not at all?
Finally, I think it's a big challenge because finally you have to take all the decision.
Yeah.
And when you are assistant coach, okay, you are working a lot. You are working a lot, but you give the information, you give your opinion, but finally the head coach is gonna take the decision.
Yeah, it is.
And right now, I have to work a lot, but I have to take the decision.
Yes, it is.
And sometimes you are taking the good decision, and sometimes you are taking the wrong decision. And you have to accept this, and it's tough, but this is the reality. And I know that sometimes I don't want to take the wrong decision for sure. But after the game, I said, okay, I think that I took this wrong decision in this situation to defend this situation, or we didn't use this in offense, and was my fault. I think that you have to improve as a coach like this. And also, I think that you have to be honest and you have to say to the team also this. I remember, for example, when after losing against Nyon, I said to the team, hey, sorry, team, because I think that we didn't use Ines, the big one, a lot inside in the first half, and was my fault. So I have to say sorry. You have to apologize. I think so. And I think that this is good.
Yeah, okay.
I was doing something on my phone. I was searching it, but I didn't find. But a couple of days ago, as I found something about Itudis, the coach of Moscow.
Yes.
And I was remembering, if I remember it good, he was telling something about the importance of assistant coach. He was once an assistant coach of Obradovic.
Yes.
And I was searching it, but I didn't find it very. But my question is, how important is your assistant coach?
I think it's super important. It's super important, the assistant coach. But I think that the assistant coach, they have to say the truth every time. Maybe if the head coach, maybe he or she doesn't like your opinion, but you have to say, this is my opinion, and then you have to take the decision for sure. But I think that you have to put in travel, not in the team, just in the meeting with the head coach. You have to put in travel to the head coach to finally to take the better decision. But when he took the decision, you have to support this decision.
I think this is really something important. You have to be the other guy. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say in English, but you have to be the opposite sometimes, and you have to say, okay, don't we have to do this? But if the coach, the head coach, he is at the end, he's the boss. But if he takes that decision, you have to stay behind your head coach. This is really, really important for coaches, for head coaches, for assistant coaches to know.
Yes, this is super important, because if finally if you are the assistant coach and you are talking with the player and you said, no, the coach took this decision, but I'm not agree on that. Oh, this is not good.
No.
Finally, the problem is coming.
We have some assistant coaches in our episodes, and we always ask them, what is your task? Can you maybe tell from a head coach, what task do you give to your assistant coach during a game or something?
For me, I think that it depends. For example, you have to know the level of the assistant coach, if he or she is coming every day for the practice or no. But if everybody is professional, I think that you have to control a little bit, for example, about the set offense, what you are playing. This is a little bit about big data, but not too much. If you put a lot of focus in this kind of thing, finally you are not watching the game. And I think that the head coach need your help, and you have to watch the game. Hey, we have problem this. We have problem in the stagger defense. We have problem in the back screen defense or in the flare screen. And if you have the focus, just, I know, like in paper, no, this. Finally, you can't give her or give him your opinion. Like I call it, like paper things.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to watch the game, and maybe if something about set offense and some point, and finally you have to give me our weak point in offense and our weak point in defense, and our strong point in offense and our strong point in defense.
Yeah.
In half time. They have problem in the pick and roll defense, and when we're playing this, boom, hey, we're still playing this situation.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And this is, and it's difficult to know also, because you have to watch the game and you have to feel it.
Yeah, that's correct. That's why I think the relationship between head and assistant coach is underrated sometimes, because as you say, it's super important that you have to trust each other. And as Mike said, it's like the good cop, bad cop. You have to challenge each other to become a better team. So no, I like it that you mentioned it as well, Coach. And yeah, you talked a little bit about set plays already. We were really interested, Coach, in your offensive philosophy, and what are the main things that always come back if you talk about offense?
Okay, firstly, I think that all the Spanish coaches, we want to run a lot, no? To play super fast. Yeah. This is true. I think so. I like to play firstly in fast break, if it's not possible in secondary break or early offense. I like this kind of thing. But then if it's not possible, because sometimes it's not possible, I like to play the 5-on-5 situation. But I think that the most important, I think that we have to know our strong point like a team and the strong point of the player. And if we know this right now, okay, we can play this. Because for me, for example, I am waiting until I was starting the playbook for the team. in the middle of August when I know who is the team.
Okay.
No before. I know I have this player, this one. Okay, so my idea is gonna be, okay, we have one shooter, we have one big, so we can put the ball inside. We have this player that sometimes she can play ISO for her. So we have the point guard that she can create from the pick and roll. So, okay, we have this is our strong point. And now, okay, you have to think, okay, we can use this set often, this one, but using this, using the strong point of the player. I think so. This is the most important thing, finally, at least for me. Finally, there are a lot of set often from diamond, from double drag, from horns, from a lot of things. But okay, if you want to play, for example, a stagger for the shooter, but you don't have shooter, so why you are playing this?
Yeah.
So
no, that's correct. It depends on your personnel, on your team because I remember when I was in Switzerland 3 years ago on a holiday at my father's place, and that was the moment when I started to think about coaching seniors on the long term. And I was looking for a YouTube video creating offensive playbook, and I started watching it, and I was writing down some plays and then we came to the part, and it was the last part of the video. It all depends on your personnel. And then I was thinking, but why do I don't have a team. I don't know which players I will have. So, but it was a good exercise to do. But it's like you say, you can't start a playbook without knowing the capacities of your team. So
yeah, that's it. This is the most important thing, finally. So you have to use the player in the right position and right place that they are gonna be good on that. Because if you don't have a good, for example, your guard is not a good player to play pick and roll, and she has to play every time pick and roll. So okay, so there is no make sense. And finally, I think that the most important, make sense.
Yeah,
use the player in the right way.
Yeah, and also if you start a season and your main thing is running the fast break, run the fast break first and see the secondary break, and the rest of the sets will come later, because your first priority is run the fast break. And this is what I also did this year. First we practiced on a fast break, and afterwards we did our sets, and we don't take a lot of sets because we run the floor very well now.
Yes,
you have to practice it.
Yeah, that's it. And I remember, for example, when we were starting middle of August, end of August, we had just 6 players to do the practice. So okay, yeah, we have just one motion to play, to everybody understand a little bit, but just one option. This, nothing else. And when rest of the players they are coming, this player with this, she knows to do this. Okay, so now we're gonna play this. When we have other player and she's good doing this, okay, so we're gonna play this option for her. But actually, like you said, if you want to run, you have to do the fast break situation.
Yeah, and you already mentioned it. You say we Spanish coaches, we like to run a lot of plays or sets and everything. The other question, what came in my mind is, not every player have the capacity to know the sets. That's correct.
Yes.
How do you implement this in your practices so they know their plays or the sets, even the persons who are not that smart in that particular thing?
Oof, this is difficult, So maybe I don't know if it's the best answer, but finally, if we have this kind of player, because her level is lower, but we need her, we have to use it's not to put it on the corner, no, but just he or she has to do the less things possible.
Yeah.
If not possible that she or he has to take the responsibility for the set plays. No, we have to be clever. Okay, we have this player. So, okay, maybe we have to play some easy things and she has to run just baseline to leave the space down, and it's perfect. And if she's open, she get the ball, opens a spot up, open shot. That's all, nothing else. And then maybe in the practice, okay, hey, we have to help her to improve for sure. But then, if not possible, that we kill the team because we have to use her every time.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not the best answer, but I think that we have to be clever on that for the team. What is the best for the team?
I think it's a very clever answer, because what you say, they don't gonna change it. She or he's not on one thing. Okay, now I know everything, so we have to adapt this. And how do you do it in the practice? You do it in breakdown drills, the sets, or you just show it 5-on-0 and you repeat this?
Yes, in the beginning of the practice, we're doing every time, or most of the time, we're doing 5-on-0 to remember our set often or the set often that we are going to use in this practice. And like this, they are ready. But I think that, firstly, when we're going to play the 5-on-0 and it's the first time that you are going to show this set plays, I think that you have to explain why you want to play this, because a lot of players, they don't understand. Okay, we play easy thing, horns, but why? Because, okay, we have a big one that she can seal inside, and the fourth one that she's open, and we can play high-low, or she can drive. That's all. But you have to explain this, because if not, they don't understand. Or some of them, they don't understand. What is the goal of the set often? Hey, the goal, I remember, we were playing some Spanish pick and roll option with our team, and the first 2 days they didn't understand the idea, because they never played this, and so it's normal. Hey, this is new for them, so we have to spend time to explain, hey, this is the idea. So now you have to screen here because we want this. And the big one is rolling in this way. And you have to set the screen here for that. And sometimes it's our mistake because we're thinking that they know this, but they don't know. And sometimes I know, and Katia is coming, hey, coach, you have to explain why. Because they don't understand. Okay, thank you. Because sometimes it's our mistake.
It's very, very funny you mentioned the Spanish pick and roll, because that's now the new hype, the Spanish pick and roll in Europe basketball. But then you see it also with U teams, sometimes U18, U21, and they play the Spanish pick and roll. But just what you say, they play it because the coach say, okay, we play Spanish pick and roll. But they don't see it, because if you are if you're a coach and you see it and you know it, you can anticipate.
Yes.
But you can anticipate as an offensive player also. But they don't do it. They just think, okay, I have to play the Spanish pick and roll and I have to put a pick. No, it's not like that.
Yes, and finally, and you have to explain. Firstly, go all the way to make the layup.
Yes.
Second thing, hesitate if you don't go all the way because they stop you. Hesitate to check the roll. If the big one is going, okay, pass to the roll because it's open. And if they put the focus in the big one, with the hesitate, you have to pass to the shooter. And you have to explain, this is the goal. Firstly, this. Second, this. And third, this.
Yeah.
But you have to spend time on that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's all about easy things. And we had last week. It's in Dutch, but we had some the assistant coach of BC Ostende, and she said the basics are so important. And for me, it's also so important because what you say now about the ball screen, Monday on training, I mentioned it all the boys. We don't stop after the ball screen. We stay in the dribble, always in the dribble, and we have to learn because we have one play. We have to dribble to the wing to get the ball inside. But what they do is they dribble to the wing, they stop, and now we're stuck because what we can do is if he sets the cross screen, he can come to the ball screen. But if you stop with dribbling, we can't play it anymore. So
it's down.
And if you penetrate, okay, the big can anticipate. He go up, or if you go to the middle, he go there. And now, okay, because it's our adults, but now they start doing it. But what you say, and that's the most important thing, you have to say why. Because if you say, yeah, keep the dribble, okay, but why, coach? Why I have to keep the dribble? Okay, because we have this, and this.
That's it. I am totally agree on that because we have to. This is our job, our passion, our hobby, and okay. But finally, we have to help them. And if you explain the thing, if they understand the thing, everything is gonna be faster and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's gonna be like this because they are gonna learn
and
better.
And like, also, we as coaches can learn a lot of what players do. I love looking to players to see how do they do this, why do they do this, and I'm sure the snake and everything. It's because one guy after the screen says maybe if I do this, and another coach start thinking, wow, he did this, and then now the snaking the ball screen, it's normal. But
yes,
I'm pretty sure it's one player who did it the first time.
For sure. And, like you said, we have to learn from the player.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We are not the best coaches. We don't know everything, and we have to learn from the player. And I said sometimes for the player, sometimes I learn from you.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's correct.
And sometimes it's technically, sometimes it's tactically, or sometimes it's mentally, or sometimes it's how to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, maybe with the one young player, maybe mentally and how to be a leader is more difficult. But I remember last season with Nora, with one Hungarian player, I was better coach for her because she was a leader on the court, and I was talking a lot of time with her, and I learned from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for me, this is also basketball.
This is what we do a lot with. I'm a coach of an adult team, and Gunnar is playing in second division in Belgium, and we talk a lot about this. And then I always look their games, and also I try to, okay, why do you do this? Why do you do that? And what you tell about being a leader, this guy is really a good leader of a team. Gunnar is really a really point guard, a really good leader. And I try to tell my young guys to say, look to him, look what he does. Not only basketball, but also for the team.
Drinking, no.
That's it. That's it. This is true because finally, this is one example for them, mm-hmm. and you have to use them.
Yes.
For us as a coach, we can't do this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we have to use the player, mm-hmm. because if they are one good example, we have to use it.
No, that's correct. And I would like to get to another question, because we were talking about what are we doing with our players, why are we doing it, the goal, but also a third question is how do we want? And then I'm thinking about, because Mike and I always talk about the timeouts. So yes. Imagine you guys are, it's a fictive situation. You start a game against Fribourg, for example. they do full court pressure, and your team, which is not a full professional team, struggling against the press. So after 2 minutes is 12-0, for example.
Yes.
Imagine you go in a timeout. What do you tell your players? Because each coach has another approach. You got screamers, you got the silent types, you got the problem. What's your input then?
So it depends on the moment. I think that it's too difficult to answer. No, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
It depends of the feeling that I have.
Okay.
So if my feeling is that the team is trying to do the best, but we are losing the ball for something and we have problem on that, but they are trying to do the best, I'm gonna calm down the team. Hey, okay. No problem. Hey, focus on that. This is our rule against for the press break. So hey, focus and let's work. No problem. But if for me is lack of aptitude or lack of focus, kill them. I kill them.
Okay.
Because no. I don't like the lack of focus or lack of intensity. For me, I hate this kind of thing, so I kill them. And they know. They know me, the player. So
but if they know you after a while, sometimes you don't have to say anything anymore. They know even the screaming is not necessary anymore. You take the time out, you sit and you look, and there's one guy or one girl who's gonna say, come up, we have to do better. We don't do our best. We are lacking defense and everything. And this is something you have to do in the beginning. Be the coach you want to be, and after a while, they know what they do wrong.
Yes, but you need also this kind of player.
Yes, yeah.
If you don't have it, you have to do it, yes or no.
Yes, and you have to do it.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
I think also why Gunnar is telling the question, for me, I think I'm a little bit changed what type of coach I was. In the beginning, I was of my career, and I'm pretty young. I was really a screamer. Every time. I was the mad coach. And after a while, I was thinking, why? Always, it's not helping anymore. You have to be, and if you're screaming all the time, you lose everything to think.
Yes.
So you have to search the middle.
Yes, and sometimes you have to choose what is the best for the team. Because maybe you are super angry, you are super mad, but what the team needs. The team needs maybe calm down because they are super frustrated. So calm down, and you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, calm down. I'm gonna try to help the team.
And that's why an assistant coach is also very, very good. He can feel it and he can say, come on, please count until 3.
Yeah, that's it. I am totally agree on that, because sometimes the assistant coach is coming, hey, calm down.
What you say, last week we have some 3 teams, and I was the assistant coach of the 3rd team. But the coach of the 3rd team he's not sometimes the angry man.
Yes.
But what you say about playing lack of in defense, not motivated, and I said, coach, give me 5 seconds, please, of the timeout. And for me, it was fun, because I said, what the fuck are you doing right now? This is the game, because they are last. They had to win. It's not possible you play like this. And afterwards, I said, okay, and now the coach is going to talk, and you're going to listen, and we're going to play. And they said, okay, and they won. Not because of me, but just because it was one time okay, we have to listen now.
Yeah, that's it, because they have to react.
Yeah.
They have to react. And sometimes I know that every coach, we are different, because personally, we are different. Our personality is totally different. So I can understand that for one coach, if he's too shy, so it's difficult for her or for him to be tough with the player. But sometimes you have to do it. And if the head coach it's too difficult for him or for her, the assistant coach has to do.
Yeah, but it felt good for me. It was one time
Yeah.
I was like, but now I can joke about it, but it was really like the timeout it was coming. So it was like being in a show. I know, okay, now I'm going to do it. So it was really fun to do it, but
Yes.
I know it's gonna help. And okay, they know me also, the players, so I could do it, but it was fun to put on the show and then finish it, and they won.
Yeah, that's it. Because finally, sometimes they need this. You are playing without lack of intensity,
Yeah.
and this is no, because for me, when it's lack of intensity of focus, it's not about basketball.
Yeah.
It's not about, you can say whatever you want about basketball, but finally it's done. If they don't change the mentality, it's done.
Gunnar, you remember the game between our teams, the first team and the second team? The lack of intensity?
Yes.
He's really became really mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
we were playing against each other. So I'm coaching the second team of and he's playing the first team. And we started playing a scrimmage.
Okay.
We are really killing them. But we are killing them because of our intensity was high. Their intensity was, we're playing against the second team. This guy starts screaming against his team.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the moment to do it. This is the moment to do it because, hey, what are you thinking? That you are the best one, blah, blah. Hey, you are nobody.
But now, 2 years later, last week we played against them, again, a scrimmage, and the intensity was totally different. Really, they were good, and they kicked us.
Yes.
This maybe from 2 years ago, they still know it. Maybe
That's it. I'm totally sure that this is coming from 2 years ago because they knew, hey, 2 years ago we play without lack of intensity and kill us. So, hey, this is not possible.
Yeah. As soon as they got in the gym, my first thought was, shit, 2 years ago we had that scrimmage, we lost, they killed us. So I really wanted something else that night. So yeah, it's all about mindset. Whether it's a practice, a scrimmage against another team or a game, you should always have the same mindset. And that's something you cannot always control before the game as a coach, because you don't know if your player feels sick, had a long day, had problems at home. But as soon as the game is on, yeah, you have that impact. And that's why I started about the timeouts, because I think it's very important. And I'm coaching a youth team. And yeah, coaching for me is a continuous learning process. You learn each day. And each time out, before they come to the bench, I say to myself, when they are struggling, I want to give them a solution. But then you start talking, and most of the times I give them a solution, but sometimes you keep on going, and then they whistle, they go back in the car and say, I didn't give them a solution. And that's really one of my working points for myself. So that's why I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the timeouts. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, but and I think sometimes we don't know the solution because we are still learning some things.
Yeah, correct.
And sometimes for me also, and I think for you, coach, also, sometimes you don't have and afterwards you think, oh damn, this was the solution. And then you learn it, and then you know for the next time, okay, if this happens again, we have the solution.
Yeah, for sure. For example, I remember the season in the friendly game before the season. We had some problem in some games, and I tried to kill them, but I didn't give them the solution. And after we watched the game, I said, hey, why we didn't use this? And it's a simple solution, but I didn't give them, and was my fault. So we have to learn from that.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
And sometimes I think that we have to be ready for that, but sometimes this happens because we are frustrated also. We're not thinking in the right way to give them the solution.
Yes.
And we have to work on that also as a coach. And sometimes it's difficult, because you don't have finally the tension, the right tension that we have in the game. We have it just in the games. Because in the practice, okay, you can stop, you can think, maybe they are playing there after 1 3-on-3 drill, they are shooting, and then you can think a little bit and you can give them some solution. But in the game, no. Just time out, 1 minute, that's all.
Yeah, but that's it. But it's all about the setting as well. You're on the practice with your players, and then on Saturday there's a full house atmosphere. You get the referees, you got another team. So yeah, it's a lot of key factors. So that's what makes the coaching job so interesting for me. And yeah, I love making mistakes, because then I know at that moment I'm getting better as a coach. So
yeah, for sure. But I think that all the coaches were doing mistake, because we're person and we're gonna do mistake, and we have to learn from this, and we have to live with the mistake also. This is like the player they're gonna do mistake also. They are gonna take wrong decision, and they have to live with this decision. We can't change this. We can work on that, but we can't change the mistake. So
no, that's it. Life goes on.
That's it.
Coach, you're from Spain, a country that is well known for youth development programs all over the country. What are the differences with a country as Switzerland?
Oof. Firstly, I think that in everywhere we have the same things. What I mean, that for me, I call it like this. We have two different ways. And I call it the group that they want to have fun. We have to accept, because they are happy playing basketball, but just to have fun. And then we have the I don't know how we can call it in English, like a performance basketball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So two different groups. And finally, it's the same in Spain, it's the same in Iceland. I think that it's the same in Belgium, it's the same in Switzerland, because there are good teams and lower team.
Yeah.
And we have to accept this. But I think that the big difference, that in Spain, probably there are more players that they want to be in the performance basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
So they accept that you push them. They accept that if you push them to work hard, it's because they are going to improve. And maybe they are dreaming that they could be a professional player. So I think that this is the big difference, because finally there are the team that I call it have fun. It's the same in everywhere. And we have to accept it, because this is the reality. Maybe I am playing just to have fun. I don't want to improve, but I am happy here with my friends, and we have to accept this. But I think that it's very important to put the right coach for this team.
Yeah. Correct.
Because if you put a very good coach with one team, that this team, they want just to have fun, they're going to finish frustrated, the coach and the player.
But, okay, because Gunnar and I, we are busy with some mission to do, and we want to do something. But from what moment you have the performance teams and you have the fun team? But because for me, when you have an 8-year-old kid, you don't know always its performance or the fun team. Is it possible that you there? And you say in Spain we have more the performance, but I think then it's because of in the beginning they put more. How do you say it? Help me. You give more things to get in the performance team than the fun team, or is it?
Oh, this is.
I don't know how to explain it, but you both know what I mean. Why,
Yeah, yes,
why is the bubble bigger in Spain than somewhere else?
I think because in our culture we are more competitive.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
From the beginning, because I remember, for example, this is one example, and this is the culture. I remember when I was in Iceland, I think that 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I was working with some kids also that they were under 12 and under 10. They were together, under 10 and under 12. Me, as a Spanish coach, I said, hey, and I remember that there were around 30 kids.
Okay.
And I said, hey, we can do 3 different levels. The first one, the top level, medium level, and lower level. No problem. Because for me, in Spain, it's normal. But I proposed this, and they told me, no, this is not possible. No, everybody has to be together, because the good player, they have to help the lower player. And this is culture.
Yeah, it is. And
so for me was possible, but if we have 8, 10 good players, they have to improve every time in the practice. The practice is gonna be harder because they are gonna compete against someone that they have the same level. So we have to use this, but no, they have different mentality. So I think that maybe for that we are more competitive from the beginning. With one kid with 3, 4, 5 years old, the parents, the culture, if you want something, you have to get it. Something, you have to do something.
Yeah.
So I think that this is the difference. I think so, And also probably, I think that there is a big difference, and for me this is culture, that with this kind of countries, Switzerland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, that the quality life, they have a very good high quality life.
Yeah.
They can get everything because they don't have problem. Most of them, not everybody, but most of them, they don't have money problem. If you are leaving one job, you are gonna find other one in 1 month. And I think that in Spain it's not like this. There are a lot of families that they have problem with the money. If they finish the job, they have a big problem because they don't have money to eat. So I think that this is something that you give them to the kids, and maybe you don't want to give this, but this is the reality. In the house, at home, they are feeling this. Hey, we don't have finished. No, this is, for me, maybe I don't have to say this, but for me it's crazy that one kid with 8 years old, they have one shoes that they cost 100 euros.
Yeah.
Or they have one iPhone with 8 years old. For me, this is not normal. So, and I think that, but everything is changing. We have to say also that everything is changing. If finally, if they have one iPhone with 10 years old, they're gonna have everything without working.
Yeah.
So I think that this is maybe this is the big or small difference, like with the Balkanic people, Balkanic countries. They are crazy also. They are a super competitive players. Why? Because in her mind is, if I am a professional player, I can get more money. And in this kind of country, like here, I'm gonna put one example. I don't want one player, the best player in Switzerland, playing here, like domestic player, maybe she's gonna get 1.5. But if she's working in the McDonald's, she's gonna get 3,000, 3.5. So
yeah, it is.
And like in Spain, maybe you are playing in Spain in the top league, and maybe you can get 2,000. But if you are working in the McDonald's, you are gonna get the same thing or less. So I think
it is.
This is culture. So this is culture for me.
Yeah, it is. It's culture, and like you said a few minutes ago about the Spanish way of working with the performance team and the fun team. I think in Belgium we have a lot of family tradition clubs, and the younger categories. You have like parents and coaches saying, but yeah, they're sitting in the same class, the same school, they're good friends. So we're not looking at the level of the player, but okay, they're friends. We put them in the same team without looking at their level, and that, in my personal vision, I think we should more segmentate on level as well, without forgetting the fun aspect. Because basketball is always fun, and no matter what level you play, it's always fun. But that's why I think you should always communicate, no matter the age of the player, or go in discussion with the parents to communicate before the season. What are your intention as a player, as a parent? What do you expect? I think open transparency for me is key if you want to have the best result. So
that's it. And finally, what is the goal? This is the goal. No, just to practice, and they want to have fun, enjoy a lot. Okay, no problem. This is the goal, and we have to accept. But then there are some kids or some parents, no. But I think that we have to ask, or we have to see to the player also.
Yeah,
it's not just the parents, because sometimes the problem are coming from the parents, not from the player.
Yeah, that is.
So we have to listen the player, and sometimes not listen, but just watching the player. He's a worker or she's a worker. So he want to work hard. So we have to use her because he want to work hard.
Yeah,
I think so.
It is.
But
Coach,
yes,
maybe to wrap up a little bit, talking about a player. Last week I saw that one of your youth players made her debut in the first division in Switzerland. She made her first points. So congratulations to her and to you, Coach. If you look at talking about players, talking with your players, before that game, did you talk to that player? Did you give her some specific tasks for the game? How do you bring young players in the first team?
Okay, firstly, I think that we have to say thanks to this player and to the other coach. No, not to me, because finally she's doing maybe 20-25 practice with me, and she played, but it's not for me. It's playing for the other coaches, not for me.
Yeah.
So I think that we have to say thank you for the other coaches.
Okay.
The most important thing, I think so. And then finally for me, I'm not doing something special with the young player. I ask them because sometimes I think that we put, she's the young player, so watch out, don't push her too much, blah, blah. No. For me, it's not young player, it's the level that she has. If she's under 15, but she has the level, I ask her the same thing that the senior player, because she has the talent. So it doesn't matter if she's under 15, under 16. No, she has the talent. I'm gonna ask her the same thing, and I'm gonna push her the same thing, because she can do it. It's different that sometimes we're using some player, or indeed here I know that we're using some player that they don't have the level yet. So I think that in this moment, yes, we have to talk with her, calm down, to explain them the things. So we had to push her in the right way. But who has the level and she's young player, for me it's the same. It's one more player.
Is that a typical Spanish or attitude to do it? Because every year and every time on Instagram or something else, it's coming the biggest example of putting a young player, and it's Ricky Rubio. They put it also in the team. Ricky Rubio was, how old was he? 15 or 16?
Or I think that he played with 14 years old. I think so.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I think it's when you have the talent and he's not lowering the level of the team. You have to put a young player on the team. They have to play, and not in Belgium. We always have but I don't think that and it's not always the coach, because the coach is, for the coach sometimes, for me in the team, I always say, yeah, we have to bring them. But then it's the boards, they say, yeah, but he's young, he has to wait, his time is coming. No, put them, and okay, they're gonna make fouls.
Yes, for sure.
If they have the level, they're gonna increase.
Yes, that's it. For that, for example, I can tell you how we are doing with Elisa, But the problem, Elisa is playing with the under 18 in Martigny. She's playing with the second team in Tuatogan, and she's doing the practice and playing with us sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, I know that she needs time to adapt everything for sure, because she's young and she has to understand. But then I was talking with her mom and with her, and I said, firstly, in the beginning of the season, the most important that she can do the practice with us. If she can do two practice. If she can do three practice. Because this is the moment, and let's see if she's ready. If she's ready to play in the practice, she's ready to play the game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, firstly, the practice, and then let's see, she's ready. Okay, come on, let's go. One more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can play a lot of time, just 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, because she's coming.
Yeah, coaches need to do it. Just put some young players in your team.
Yes.
And they're gonna improve every time if they have the level. Okay, this is needs to be clear. If they have the level, are they going to make mistakes? Yes, they're going to make mistakes, but they're gonna increase, and a year later you're gonna see it.
Yes, I remember Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
In Real Madrid, he was in the starting five a lot of time. And Pablo Lasso, he used it.
But Lasso is one now. This year he don't do it, but Lasso did last years. He always put a young guy in the EuroLeague team starting. Okay, maybe he don't play, but he did it with
Garuba.
Yes, Garuba. He did it with Radonjic played sometimes. Yes. The other one, Gusta.
Yes.
Justa.
Santi Justa.
Yes, Santiago Justa did it with Doncic. He did it. Okay, this is exceptional, but he put them in, and they started, and they made some fouls. Okay, then they put it into the bench, and sometimes they play the second half also.
Yes. So sometimes we have to be brave.
But coach, I think Lasso is smart enough to put him in the beginning of the game, because in the beginning of the game nothing can go wrong. They're gonna play. But if you bring a guy in the second quarter when you're 2 points ahead, and he comes in and he's too nervous, and you're behind 8, okay, nothing happens. But this is a bigger problem than in the beginning.
Yes.
30 minutes to go.
Yes, totally agree. It's difficult to know, is the best thing is this, the best thing is this. It's too difficult to know, but I think that we have to take the right moment to use them.
And what we do and this you see a lot in every team. What we do is we bring them, if they play the last 2 minutes of the last minute when you're 30, but they don't learn from this. This is this is great to feel it and to get it, but after a while you have to just bring them and go with the flow, and I will teach you and I will help you.
Yes, for example, with Elisa, she played against Fribourg the last 2 minutes of the game.
Okay, experience.
Just for this feeling, just you are coming, you are working hard, you can play. And finally, I know, and I think that everybody knows that this 2 minutes is for nothing. As for the feeling of the player.
But you tell the player.
Happy.
But you tell the player, it's for your experience, this.
Yeah, that's it. To
know it, and this is important.
But the next time that we can use her, she played 12 minutes in a row.
Yeah, that's, and you have to do it, yeah.
Yes, and we have a lot of young players. Last year we had Ainoa, Cecilia, Tiffany, that they are 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old. They are young.
Yeah. I mean, Cecilia De Preux.
Yes, that's it.
She played at Helios in my father's team.
Yes.
I remember.
And I know Alcer. She played in Helios also. I know Alcer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's the nice thing of being a coach. If you get young players and you are able to bring them and you dare to bring them, it's all about trusting the process. So
yes, that's it. And we're ready.
But something very important for the coaches is what you did. A lot of coaches say, "Yeah, I brought the player," but you said, "No, it's not me. It's all the coaches before."
Yeah.
But a lot of coaches don't do this, and this is really important for coaches. Know who brought the player. It's all the coaches who did it before, and it's all the coaches from the beginning until here.
Yeah, that's it. Because finally, I am using her, but for the job that they were doing with her before, not for me.
Yes.
Because she's coming 1, 2 practice, 3 practice by week. It's the pen of the week. I am using her talent.
Yeah.
But who was working with her too much was the other coach, and we have to say thank you.
Yes. Yes.
No, that's correct.
And it's very important, I think.
No, it is. We should say thank you. We should say it more. And talking about thank you, I think this is the moment to thank you, Coach, for being here. I think it was really interesting to talk about your experiences in Switzerland, in Spain, in Iceland, and the other countries. A lot of topics talking about the timeouts, building up a team, knowing your personnel before starting your offensive playbook and philosophy. And of course, the play fast attitude of Spanish basketball always pops as well. So thank you. Thanks a lot for taking some time with us. And I wish you good luck. And hopefully I'll be there in April. If you need me, just call me on.
Okay, so thank you very much. I appreciate for your time because you want to talk with me. And I hope that we can see you in any moment, in some tournaments, in everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call you in April.
No, perfect.
But you have to be in good shape.
He's in shape.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
no problem.
The players they are telling me, hey, this is basketball practice or this is athletic practice.
We'll work something out. Coach.
Okay.
Okay, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Coach.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Huddle. We believe it's important to help coaches develop their vision and philosophy. If you have any question or comment, please don't hesitate to contact us. Enjoy the next episode.